How's everybody doing? It's Joe here from Wobuffett, and today I've got another deck analysis for you. This one's our first one from XY to Steam Siege on PTCGO, and that's going to be Chandelure. This is a fun little card, and if you remember back when I did my Steam Siege set review, I did say that I would give Chandelure a shot. I was eager to try it out and that it could be a fun deck, or hopefully it could be competitive. Turns out it's not very competitive, as I guess really shouldn't surprise anybody, but it's got a lot of quirks to it, and it's actually quite a nice deck, so I'll show it off and try and sell it to you as best as I can. A quick apology, first of all, too, for the really weird schedule the channel has had over the last, few weeks, over the last 2 weeks or so. Normal service has resumed this week. New podcast on Thursday. That's going to be a World Championships preview. That's actually going to be a very good one, so stay tuned for that. And, yeah, again, sorry, weird schedule over the last 2 weeks, but we're all back on track now. Alright, so let's get back onto it. And in case you were wondering what the Chandelure does from Steam Siege, this is the guy that we're building the deck around. So, this is really the main... First of all, right, there's a lot of things wrong with Chandelure, but there's also a couple of things that are really, really good about Chandelure that I didn't realize how good they were first. So let's start off with the good qualities of the card. First of all, artwork. Great artwork. Not the most competitive of positive aspects about the card, but it's nice to know it's there. The attack. This is what we've built the deck around. This is the main focus of the deck. Past Friends does 10 damage plus 10 more for each supporter in our discard pile. And we run 18 supporters, which is quite a lot of supporters. I honestly would like more in there, but the more I add, the clunkier the deck becomes. And you can't really just load up on draw supporters because you still need ways to you still need those quirky one-off supporters, and trying to load it up with just 20, 25 supporters just did not work at all. 18 is as low as I can go. Honestly, 19 or 20 will be great, but it's really difficult to find the room. But anyway, this attack does actually stack up really quickly. Far quicker than I first thought it would. And you're honestly killing EX Pokemon pretty early on. Earlier than Vespiquen can, in some cases. Largely, the reason this is sort of arguably better than Be Revenge is because when you play a supporter yourself, it discards itself, so it's easier to automatically discard them. It's easier to run high counts of supporters than it is to run high counts of Pokemon. And also, this lovely attack cost means we can just use it for a single basic energy as opposed to a double colorless. It's actually a really solid attack, honestly. A very good attack. And building a deck around it means you've actually got quite a strong deck on your hands. It's also coupled with this fantastic ability, Sinister Selection, which basically means that it's like a free Acrobike every turn, and it obviously stacks. So if you have like 2 or 3 Chandelure in play, you can use 2 or 3 Sinister Selections. And this is a really cool attack, or ability, I mean. Basically, it allows us to basically like Ultra Ball away our whole hand, leave us with like 1 or 2 cards that aren't draw cards, and still draw out of it. It's really good at doing that. If we get end to a low hand size, Sinister Selection is there to bail us out and get us right back in the game. It's actually a very fantastic ability, and something I didn't really give it credit for initially. Helps out with setting up further Chandelures, helps up with getting more supporters in the discard pile. Yeah, this is an absolutely fantastic ability. So, we've covered all the positive aspects of the card, so why do I still think it's kind of underwhelming? The biggest reason for me not to like this card is this lovely Stage 2 thing written up here. This is honestly the worst thing about the deck. If this was a Stage 1, it would be very powerful. Seriously, really powerful. But the fact that we have to rare candy into it means it really limits how many we can actually get out. It means it's harder to spam. It means we're worse against item lock decks. It's just very frustrating and really not possible to work with. The 130 HP as well on the Stage 2. Given that, like, say, Baby of Eltal is a basic with 130 HP, this is pretty underwhelming. We die very, very quickly. And considering how hard it is to get it into play in the first place, that's not a good thing. The other thing that really sucks about it is this Dark Weakness down here. And if we go over to the Litwick, it's 50 HP with a Dark Weakness, so as you can imagine, Baby of Eltal will run through us. Even Baby of Eltal with support from Giovanni is able to take care of the Chandelure on its own, which is quite annoying. And Baby of Eltal with a Fury Belt means we have to commit quite a lot to actually get rid of it. So, yeah, it's got its weaknesses. I think I'm going to group this one with Delphox in that it's a cool card, it's got a lot going for it, and it's actually very strong. It's just in a meta that is not going to be kind to it whatsoever. But for now, it's pretty fun. So anyway, onto the rest of the line. We are running a 4-2-4 line. We got 4 of this Litwick. Slightly Simmer is kind of cool. It's like a mini Battle Compressor. I'm not using this anywhere near as much as I thought I would. It's really, if you go second and you have Dimension Valley down, you can use it. I'm not willing to attach for the turn because I know this Litwick's going to die going into my opponent's turn, so it's not really worth committing an energy just for the extra 2 supporters in the discard, but it's kind of a nice if you have it cool. If you're playing this deck in Expanded, there's actually a Fire-type Litwick with 60 HP and a Water weakness. That is way better than this one because Baby Veltal can't run through you. You also get kind of cool things in Expanded like extra supporters, like Jirachi EX, so if you really want to play this deck in a slightly better capacity, maybe that's where you go, but with so many dark decks running around Expanded, that's probably a terrible idea. But yeah, that's our Litwick that we're working with. I'm also running the Lampent from Phantom Forces. Yeah, this does have more attacks other than just Night March. There's the Lampent in Steam Siege. It's got 80 HP and 1 retreat cost. That has never come up for me ever. I don't think it will ever come up when that's actually relevant. Other than that, it's exactly the same. The attacks aren't very useful though. This one does have Curse Drop, not Night March. Yep, there's a different attack on it. It's got Curse Drop. So we can put 3 damage counters on our opponent's Pokemon in any way we like, and this is actually really cool because a lot of the time, especially early game, I'm like missing the KOs on bigger EX Pokemon and stuff like that. Curse Drop is really, really nice because it basically allows us to pick them off if they retreat to the bench, or just not commit a Chandelure, and just it's much easier to get a Lampent with an energy on it, and use Curse Drop to sort of finish off the KO ourselves. So that's why he's in here. Again, it really doesn't come up that often, but it's just worth knowing, and you may as well give yourself the option. So we're running a 4-2-4 line of him, and with Sacred Ash, really we just want to recycle this guy and be attacking with him all the time. The only other attacker we have in here is Wobuffett, with, obviously we know what Wobuffett does. Psychic Assault is good though, because if we are two-shotting things, we can sort of come in with the Chandelure and finish it off that way. So that's why that's kind of nice to have. Also, Wobuffett has 110 HP, Chandelure has 130, but Wobuffett's a basic. Just to put into perspective how frail Chandelure is, that's really what I wanted to show there. Also, this thing has a different weakness, which is kind of cool to have. And Body Barricade obviously is a very good ability. Nothing really we need to have this out against, except maybe Vileplume to give us half a chance against that deck. But mostly it's just so we can finish off stuff with Psychic Assault. I don't really feel the need for more than one. It's just to save us committing a second Chandelure to two-shot something. Finally, we got 2 Shaymin EX. I'd like a third, just because it's a pretty clunky deck, but I think 2 is really all we can get away with, all we can fit in the deck, and hey, it still runs fine as long as we don't start with Wobuffett. So as for the items and supporters, all 18 of them, which it feels really cool to say you run 18 supporters. As for that, what I'm going to go through is like how you need to make the deck consistent. Because as cool and all as this deck is, you can't really just cram it full of supporters and cram it full of one-offs. You do still need the very basic fundamentals of a consistent deck in order to get it to work. And that's where a lot of the problems start coming in, because running a stage 2 line with those fundamental principles means you're pretty slow, means you're going to get outrun by Night March, means you're going to be weak to item lock. And now we start seeing the flaws of the deck. There's 3 Dimension Valley in here. It seems weird to start off with Dimension Valley, but I want to explain this point a bit further. You can definitely get away with 2, and I tried 2 for the longest time, and it does work fine. But occasionally you will just miss an attack because you don't have a Dimension Valley in play. And that's bad, because if you've gone to the effort of setting up a Chandelure, if you've gone to the effort of getting all those supporters in the discard pile, you don't want to do all of that and then miss an attack for something as simple as that. So I cut 1 supporter from the deck to fit this in, and that's essentially the point I'm trying to make, is that you really need to make sure that you always have the ability to attack when you need to attack, and then put in the extras and the cherries on top, like in addition to that. So that's really how I think you should build the deck. Anyway, we'll move on to the items themselves. 4 Battle Compressor, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 VS Seeker. That's very obvious. Pretty standard for most decks. Obviously the compressor is just to get rid of our supporters. 4 Rare Candy, we do have to play this, and 1 Sacred Ash to recycle our dudes. The 4 Rare Candy is kind of an interesting one, because I reckon a lot of people will try and build this with like 4 Lampent and 4 Wally. But at the end of the day, like I was saying earlier, you're still committing like your supporter for the turn to be the Wally. That means you're not playing Sycamore, that means you're not playing N, that means you're like lowering your consistency. Now, you're not playing Lysandre or Giovanni or any of those cool cards, the other ones that we have here. You have to force yourself to get the Wally out, and that can be really awkward. You don't want to put yourself in a position like that with any deck, really, except Trevenant in turn 1, but you know what I mean. This is a consistent problem throughout the game, and that's why I think the Rare Candy is just much faster, it's just much quicker. Even if it's worse against the item lock decks, you're probably still going to lose to those anyway. So, because like Trevenant's Forest Curse is going to run through Litwicks very quickly. So really, that's my explanation as to why I don't think you should be going for a really thick line with extra Wallies. I don't think that would work too well. But, onto the supporters themselves. We have 4 Sycamore, 2 N, 2 Lysandre, 1 AZ, what else? That's really it for 1 Hex Maniac, of course. That's really it for the standard stuff. The stuff that doesn't really need much of an explanation. Onto the other things. 2 Skyla is my favorite card in the whole deck. Really, really clutch card. For finding rare candies, for finding dimension value when you need it. Even just finding Ultra Ball to get rid of, or Battle Compressor to get rid of other supporters, that kind of stuff. Even setting yourself up with a supporter for next turn, Skyla comes in very handy, and I play it very often in every single game. Definitely worthy of the spots. Mostly to find rare candy, of course. 2 Wally. Like I said, it's kind of our answer to item lock. It's not really much of an answer. We want to give ourselves as many ways as possible to evolve into our Chandelures, and Wally is just another way of doing that. It's fine. I probably only play 1 per game. It's not something you're spamming all the time. Like I said, that's really Skyla's role. We also have 1 Brigette, which might seem weird given that we only run 5 basic non-EXs, but given that we have 4 Battle Compressor and 4 VS Seeker, it's pretty likely that we get this on turn 1. So, and if we do, honestly, all I do is just load the bench with Litwicks. I'm fine just playing Brigette for 3 Litwicks, or 2 Litwicks and a Wobuffett or something like that. It gives you a good start. It means you're kind of in a very good position straight off the bat. Even later on in the game, when you want to get another Litwick out, but you don't want to like Skyla for an Ultra Ball, you can just VS Seeker for Brigette and then get like 1 Litwick on your bench, and that actually does work out kind of nicely. Yeah, it actually earned its spot in the deck pretty nice. We've got 1 Delinquent. This is really because I can. So, if I have a Stadium in play, obviously I can discard it. My opponent discards 3 from their hand. This is the first thing I will get rid of at the start of the game. Reason being, it kind of just puts a lot of pressure on my opponent that they have to look at their hand and think, okay, well I can never drop below 3 or 4 cards in my hand. Because if they ever have only 3 cards in their hand, I'll just play Delinquent, and I can pull myself into a very good position all of a sudden. So that's why that's there. It's kind of cheeky, and it's not going to come up every game, but it could honestly be really clutch at some point. Even if you end your opponent to a low hand size and then next turn play the Delinquent, yeah, you can pull off some funny stuff with that. 2 Giovanni. This thing is really cool. If we have it in our hand, we can just play it straight down, do 20 more damage, and then it goes to the discard pile, so we actually do 30 more damage, which is pretty nice. Yeah, extra damage is always great, so there's no real reason not to run Giovanni. We can even use the first effect for consistency. Alright, so that's all the supporters. Other ones you could run in the deck, I guess, are Xerasic. Xerasic's nice for getting rid of Fury Belts, mostly. Hasn't come up too often, and honestly, I can't find the room for it right now. I think the Delinquent's really the one supporter that I'm kind of on the fence with, but I like the idea of it, so I'm going to keep running it for now. Xerasic makes a lot of sense there. Pokemon Center Lady will be quite nice too, just to get a set of special conditions and healing and stuff like that. But ultimately, I think Chandelure's too frail for it to matter. Also would be Team Flare Grunt is kind of a cool one, just because it's a bit like Delinquent, it's a bit cheeky, but we can get away with it because we're encouraged to run so many supporters. So it's kind of a neat idea, but ultimately I think if we do pull off the Delinquent, it could be game-changing, and I think that's reason enough to run it. So, on top of that, we just have 2 Muscle Land, damage modifier, would like more, can't fit more, you know how it is, and 7 energy to round it out. It's 5 Psychic and 2 Mystery. Honestly, the only reason I'm running the Mystery is because of the Wobuffett. We never really want to retreat the Chandelure, so it's really fine, but if the Wobuffett's on our bench, I'd like to get a Mystery on it. That's really why that's there. Alright, so that's going to do it for the analysis, and I'm going to hop straight into a game. I'll just save it to make sure everything is good. And hopefully I can show off some of the more fun mechanics with this thing. Okay, it's just going to tell us that I've unlocked the treasure chest, and then I can get going. I hate that I can't skip these animations. And after that slight delay, we can get going. So yeah, a lot of bad matchups in terms of big meta decks. This guy's running Fairy, Psychic, and Colorless. Fairy, Psychic, and Colorless. Notoriously bad with these things. Okay, Tails. So hey, maybe we can get off the Slight Singe, or whatever the name of Litwick's attack is this turn. Okay, that's a mulligan. It's 7 basic, so we don't mulligan too often. fire sleeves, so that could just be throwing us off because I didn't see fire in the list of colors, but whatever. I guess we'll see when he flips over. Would have been quite a nice hand all the same. And we mulligan again. And he's going to think it's Night March, except for the 2 Wallies. Not going to fool him. He's seen the Delinquent though, so that's a little annoying, but... Oh, come on. It's honestly the first time I've actually ever mulliganed with the deck. And it's when I'm trying to record the video. And it's 4 times as well. Hey, there we go. Please don't have Latios. Thankfully we're 10 HP away from Latios, so we do force him to find the muscle band, but... Yes, and you can take all, like, 4 of those mulligans. Especially because he's going first. I can't end him out of those. Kind of an awkward hand. Might have to Sycamore away a rare candy. That is a pretty awkward hand. Like, obviously the Litwick's probably going to die going into his turn, so... holding the rare candy and Chandelure is probably not an option. I could Wally into the... Although, 50 HP? No, I can't pick that up. Anyway, we're going against, like, Lugia and Aromatisse. Interesting deck, but yeah, the synergy is obvious. So yeah, there is a question as to whether I could Wally into this thing and just pray, but, I mean, I really don't think that's worth it at all. Seems he just passed the turn. It might be because he has Aromatisse in hand or something. I don't feel confident enough to just Lysandre this up, Wally in, and pray that he doesn't like find a way to retreat and attach an energy. Because if he has Fairy Garden... although if he has Fairy Garden and Aromatisse, yeah, we're screwed, right? 20, 40, 60. Although that's not doing enough to knock me out. How ballsy am I feeling? Oh, come on, we'll do it for the camera. We'll do it for the camera. Okay. I'm gonna Wally into this guy. And I've just realized that I can't play Wally and Lysandre at the same time. Oh god, I'm stupid. Yeah, we're just going to Wally in, and I'm going to play this one super ballsy. So just don't have DCE, and that would be great. Even if he does have DCE, he still needs Muscle Band. In that giant hand of his. There's really not a lot to calculate here, so... Okay, so he's going to go into the Aromatisse. Max Elixir would be bad. Oh god, this was a terrible idea. I swear I don't make these plays off camera. Are we living, though? Okay, he's got the Fairy Garden. And he's going to end me, which sucks, because I have the Chandelure here. I didn't even want to Sycamore that away, because getting rid of a rare candy is really painful. Okay, he's going to Transmail. Birch's Observations, wow. And we live! Excellent. Excellent stuff. We can afford to get rid of a rare candy now, too. Let's see. I got 2 Battle Compressors. Oh, this is a really nice hand. I think I'm going to Sycamore this. So we'll go for 1, 2, 3... Then with the other one, I think I'll get rid of, like, Lysandre, Brigette. I should definitely get a Skyla in there. Okay, I'll just go for Lysandre. Yeah, okay. I think that's fine for now. Play another Battle Compressor. And this time, we will get rid of Giovanni. No, I don't have the scope to get rid of that. And plus, I want to play it from hand anyway. I would like to get rid of the Hex Maniac or a Wally here. The Wally's already in there, actually, so yeah. Dumping the Skyla very early on is also kind of important. So, because we do want to access that as often as we can. I could also just VS Seeker for Skyla, for Ultra Ball, for Lampent, but that's definitely not worth it. The odds of me hitting it off of this Sycamore is just still really high. We're obviously not going to be taking a knockout here, so hopefully that can show off the Wobuffett coming into play. Well, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to Ultra Ball away. I want to get a Shaymin with this. I know there's a Lysandre in there. Safest play probably to get rid of Giovanni. I mean, that is playing it safe. I really should have just gotten rid of the Sycamore, but whatever. And we'll evolve the Chandelure. And we'll set up. Oh, excellent, we got the Wobuffett. Getting rid of another rare candy next turn doesn't sound very pleasant, but we'll try the Sinister Selection first. Oh, come on. Damn, I don't even think I can. I think I have to take a rare candy here. That's really cruel. Oh, that's cruel. I'll hope he ends me. I'll hope he ends me. What are we looking here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, well, we're doing a 2-hit KO. With the Wobuffett especially. The only issue is it's an Aromatisse deck, so if he's running Max Potion, that'll really mess us up. I was really hoping to hit like a Litwick or something off of that Sinister Selection. I didn't really want to commit the Ultra Ball to it, though. So that's why I went for it in the first place. I mean, the odds of me having to discard that rare candy were pretty low anyway, but it would be really nice if we could get another Litwick on the board. Or if he just doesn't heal, that would also be great. 20, 40, 60, 80. So even if he attaches another energy, he still can't get the 1-hit KO unless he attaches a double colorless or an energy and a Fury Belt. Well, there's the energy. And there's the Birch's observations. Fury Belt would be fine because Wobuffett would still pick the KO up because it's got 10 base damage. It's got the 10 base damage there. So, and actually attacking with the Wobuffett would be cool because it would shut off the Aromatisse too. I'm really glad the Lampent play worked out. I'll tell you that. Okay, so he's going to get the Fan Club out. If he has Max Potion, I'm going to be pissed. He is missing the KO as it stands. Oh, nice. So it does look like he has. Or this is for a Max Potion. Yes! Okay, it looks like he's just missed the KO. That's fine. We got pretty lucky in this game, I admit. Awesome. Okay, well now we can just commit the second energy here. Question as to whether or not I should kill the Aromatisse here. I don't think it's worth it. I think what I am going to do, though, Ultra Ball away both these. Take this opportunity to set up again, get another Litwick out. As much as I run 4 Sycamore, it's something I'm debating cutting. It's really good to find early game, but we actually don't play it that much. So it's something you could probably cut down on. I'd say 3 Sycamore would actually be fine. Not going to find a Chandelure out of that, but we do get a Wally. That could also be cool. I am going to play that. Okay, so it means we can afford to get rid of 2 rare candies, which we already have. Double Wally has been perfect for us so far. Do I want a Sinister? What else am I really looking for? I think I'm fine without doing it. I just don't want to put myself in a bad position by discarding something I don't want to see. Look, we'll just go for the pass, friends. I got the knockout here. Would have been nice to get the Delinquent, but he's got 4 cards in hand, so... Anyway, we'll take our 2 prizes. And our bench is pretty well set up, too. Skyla's there as well if we want to find another Dimension Valley. So everything's coming up Millhouse. We have gotten pretty lucky in this guy just really missing a lot of his damage modifiers. Or any double colorless, but hey, he is running Professor Birch, and that's what happens, so... Probably should have held the Lysandre knowing that he had Fan Club in hand. But, can he take a knock at this turn if he gets another Lugia? Okay, he's got the new Gardevoir. If he can just find 1 energy, yeah, he can take a knockout here. And there it is. So he can now retreat with the Fairy Garden. Send up the Gardevoir and take the knockout there. But how much were we doing? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, he's got max elixir too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 12. So we're doing 13, 14, 15. Play one of these 16. Plus the base 10? Did I include the base 10? Okay, I'm going to add this up to be sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 13, and then 14, 15, 16. Oh, I didn't add this up. This is awkward now because I need energy. If I Skyla, yeah, because I need the Chandelure and I need the Dimension Valley. I probably should have gone for that last turn. Let's risk it. I think I've added this up right. Please tell me I did not embarrass myself majorly here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I did add this up wrong. Shit. God damn it. Should not have sent that up. It's kind of an awkward thing to do here. Because I would love to kill this, but I'm not hitting enough. Although if I can find the Chandelure, he can't kill me. So is it worth going Skyla for Ultra Ball for Chandelure and then trying to use Chandelure's ability to find us a Dimension Valley? Damn, that's a risky play. Or we could N for 4 and try and find both. Nah, I like my Skyla play. Because that way I can use the Ultra Ball. You got the other two in there. And that way I can use the Ultra Ball to get rid of the N. Get rid of those two. For Chandelure. This is where a third Shaymin would have been pretty nice. We'll evolve. Oh, no Dimension Valley. That is to be expected, though. So, if we can just kind of hold off for one turn, which is feasible looking at his board, provided he doesn't either Mega or find a Fury Belt, which he hasn't found any of those. Mystery Energy would have been nice there. Boof. Alright. I put myself in that bad position, but whatever. I find I play worse on camera, which sounds like the cheapest thing to say. But this ends up being a pretty tight game. So, I haven't seen Fury Belt yet. That's just... I always right-click on the discard pile. We haven't seen a whole lot of his cards. And if I had found the Dimension Valley there, it would have been so worth it. Okay, we got the Ultra Ball coming. Wait, Birchin, Mega Turbo. Okay, so he has got the Mega. But does he have the Spirit Link? Is that one card in his hand, Spirit Link? Oh, he's just going to make it end turn. That's pretty helpful for us. Alright, now we need to add this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Giovanni, 19, 20. Oof. If we can get one more in the discard pile, I can VS Seeker for Giovanni and do it. Or I can VS Seeker for Skyla for Battle Compressor and get 3 more in. I think I'll Sinister Selection first. Alright, well, bit late Dimension Valley, but thanks. Okay, the clock noise is still going, and that's very annoying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, Okay, yeah. So VS Seeker for Skyla, for Battle Compressor, and I hope I have enough in my discard pile to do this. If not, I will just grab myself an Ultra Ball, put a Litwick down, and then I can still attack and finish off with Wobuffett. Okay, so this is fine. 1, 2, and there's only 2 left, is there? That is so frustrating. I'm even out of Ultra Balls. Damn, that is not nice. Not very kind at all. I'll still get rid of these. I don't mind going into a low deck size. I think I can still win the game. And attach to the Wobuffett. I will pass friends. Yep. Damn, the 10 damage short. And this is where running the extra copies of supporters will be nice, but... Okay, well, he's going to Mega Turbo. Is he going to manually... Oh, he can move them off with the Fairy Transfer, actually. That's a pretty nice synergy. He could try and attack with the Xerneas, but... he's not going to get very far. Like, only 100 damage. And if he wants to commit to this attack, he has to discard both these Pokemon to knock out the Chandelure. In which case, I just promote the Wobuffett and I can finish off the game right there. Okay, he's got VS Seeker for Birch. Why is this man playing Birch? I mean, I'm sorry, man, but come on. Sycamore here would have been so nice. If he can counter the stadium and bench another Pokemon, that's what he'd be really looking for. Okay, he's got the counter stadium, so that's something. Energy retrieval. Is he going to get rid of them, though? That's the question. If he was, I feel like he would have just put the energy back on the Mega Gardevoir. No, he's not going to do it. That's going to really secure it for us, so we can just counter. And this is where one of the 3 Valley comes in handy. I'm not going to finish the selection out of fear of just decking out. Although I would quite like a way to retreat here. Oh man, do I have to? I think I have to in hoping to find a Litwick. Okay, we do, so that's fine, right? I kind of have to do that. Playing it pretty risky. Pass friends for the knockout. Probably should have put the muscle bands on so I'm end-proof, but what can you do? That is that is exactly what we want to see. I believe that's all my Dimension Valley's gone now. Yep, that's all of them gone. So if he counters the stadium and takes the knockout, that's going to be annoying. He's still got 2 left. Yeah, he could do it. So if he counters the stadium, takes the knockout. I might just have to promote the Wobuffett and sort of stall behind it. And end him to 5 doesn't work. He really needs to counter the stadium, otherwise I do just win. Alright, he's got a Gardevoir EX out. Let's bear in mind this whole game came off of me having the balls to stare a Lugia EX in the face and just Wally into Lampent and pass. Which was pretty amazing. And that's the game, actually, because he doesn't find the counter stadium. I was saying this the game the whole time, but I had 2 prizes left. But I think it wouldn't have mattered anyway if I had killed this. So, can we Lysandre up that and kill it? I assume we can. Let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yep. Touch this. Touch this. And I definitely would have won even if he didn't bench this, but we can definitely do it now. VS Seeker for Lysandre. Sinister Selection for good measure. Just in case there was another supporter there that I forgot about. And we will pass friends. That was a pretty good game all the same. I think it showed off the power of Chandelure. Even if our opponent was pretty slow, sometimes that's what you need to kind of get the deck running. The music has been very loud in my ears, so hopefully it hasn't been too loud to you guys watching. I'll turn it down for next time if it is, but I'm still kind of getting used to recording on the new laptop, so that'll be why. Anyway, guys, that is the deck. I'll show it off one last time in full screen mode. That's cool, thank you. Alright, so that's the list. It's pretty cool. I recommend you play around with it. I definitely recommend you try out some of the supporter slots. Didn't get to show off all of the deck's aspects because there's quite a lot of them. I didn't even play Skyla in that last game, which is pretty impressive, to be honest. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.